The simulated universe. It's a place we've glimpsed a handful of times on this Trailblazer only journey. Behind the scenes, I've been hard at work, running World 1 repeatedly to earn rewards. Enough so that I got a max superimposed texture of memories light cone. However, I've always wondered, just how far could a single character push? A single character limited to level 40 due to being on Equilibrium level 1. Today we find out. You see, I have this crazy idea. Blazer-dono is currently at the final showdown against Fantilia on the Xianzhou Luofu. Being this is Trailblazer only, I want to minimize Trial Jingyuan's contribution to the fight as much as I can. Thus, my idea. What if I just make Blazer-dono so unbelievably powerful that Fantilia dies in one hit? Sounds ridiculous? Well, wait until you hear how I think that can be accomplished. I'm going to get 5-star Planar ornaments from the simulated universe, because, believe it or not, unlike 5-star relics, they are not locked behind Equilibrium, which means I must reach World 5, using a single level 40 character. So, which of the two ideas do you think is more ridiculous? I've purchased the remaining preservation eidolons from the Luofu, putting Blazer-dono at 5 of 6. With this newfound strength, it's time to reattempt World 3. Japard. Still the same pushover you've always been. With your fall, World 3 has been conquered. Preservation really helps a lot. Surprisingly, I also managed to clear World 3 using destruction. And with that, playtime is over. From here on, all opponents out-level Blazer-dono. A level 52 Svarog complete. Ooh boy, there is no other way to chalk it up. This is madness.
Lance ablaze. I have to keep going.
I'm going to need every available perk I can get my hands on. The ability tree must be maxed. From its current state, 17,200 points are required. That breaks down to 215 runs of World 1. At my fastest, I can complete World 1 in 2 minutes 10 seconds. Adjusting for the fact I don't want to destroy myself doing this at breakneck speed, we'll say a single run takes 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That'll be 9.5 hours of World 1. And for you, well, it'll just be this magical fade to black. That's the big one. Food use in simulated universe. I'll be able to heal between fights and gain a much needed health boost for the bigger baddies. Svarog, I look forward to this rematch. Your power may now be complete, but Blazer-dono's continues to grow. Speaking of, we should talk about said power and strategy. A lone level 40 character against bosses that are a higher level. Not only will they hit extremely hard, they'll be doing so upwards of 3 or 4 times per turn. An obvious death sentence. Or it would be if we weren't in a simulated universe. A place rife with power-ups. In order to defeat the titans before him, Blazer-dono will require certain blessings. To begin, Path of Preservation needs to be selected. Having those blessings appear more often will both increase the chances he gets the blessings he needs and allow him to stock up on shields upon shields to artificially boost his health. It's through the repeated application of various shields that he'll gain the health to stand up to the bosses. As one would expect, these go hand in hand with the Path's Resonance attack, which will deal damage to foes based on the strength of all current shields Blazer-dono has. His Texture of Memories light cone will be granting him a big boost in that department. Ever hear the phrase, the best defense is a good offense? Truthfully, even though Blazer-dono has recently made use of that strategy, I prefer the reverse. The best offense is a good defense. Although Hoyoverse likes to not let players do so in their title's endgame content by putting timers on things. And indeed, even Simulated Universe has one in the form of boss enemies going berserk if the fight takes too long. But I'm happy to say that we can indeed turn our defense into the best available offense through the use of quake damage. Much like the resonance attack, this will cause enemies to take damage based on the cumulative strength of shields blazerdono has every time they attack him. And since he's one character getting hit multiple times per turn, you see where this is going, yeah? Preservation alone won't be enough. We'll need to throw in some destruction blessings. Chief among them, this absolutely broken thing. Now, if you play Star Rail normally with a team of 4 characters, this blessing that grants the passive, a Fighting Spirit, might not seem like much. But look at this line here. And remember that, again, this is one character who will be hit 3 or 4 times per turn by the enemy. Yeah, that's gonna hit max stacks real fast, and then it's going to remain there permanently, effectively doubling blazerdono's attack and defense. But wait, there's more. Once a blessing that grants Fighting Spirit is obtained, you'll unlock access to some new blessings, including the oh-so aptly named Incremental Doomsday. Each time an enemy attacks blazerdono, it'll deal damage equal to 4% of blazerdono's attack times the number of Fighting Spirit stacks he has, which we've established will always be max at 35, for a grand total of 140% of his attack as damage per hit. I'm already feeling sorry for these bosses. Of course, none of that matters if they hit so hard that these shields can't keep up. So, to quickly review, blazerdono has numerous ways to obtain shields. It deals damage when hit based on the cumulative strength of his active shields. It deals damage when hit on his attack times Fighting Spirit stacks. Can trigger resonance for a massive AoE attack based on cumulative strength of his active shields, which is guaranteed to crit. Heals 30% health upon use of ultimate. And of course, he can reduce all incoming damage by 44% until his next action by using his skill. He is literally a tank. Now then, Svarog, let's have that rematch, shall we? Hold up, buddy. Let's keep this one-on-one. I forgot to mention, as if all that damage blazerdono can deal when he's hit wasn't bonkers enough, it can crit. Right, that was to be expected. They just never want to fight one-on-one.
Forward! Calculating result. Reevaluating. Initiating. Not a scratch. I'm okay. Lance ablaze.
Things have been going smooth, but we've arrived at the dangerous part of the fight. This is actually my second time reaching Svarog. If those arms catch me with controlled blasting, with my shields down, it's one heck of a bad time. It's important that I don't panic and use resonance attack yet, because right after deploying one arm, he deploys another. Now we wait for Texture and Memories to give me that big shield, and... Of course, he immediately deploys a third, but it's too late. He'll take far too much damage before he gets to issue commands to it. And with one final ultimate, Svarog complete, and World 4 of Simulated Universe are behind us. My goal has been achieved, reaching World 5. From here, I can farm the 5-star Planar Ornaments I require. I'll need an attack percent rope and physical damage sphere of the Celestial Differentiator set. No, that's not good. I'm stuck, aren't I? I can't outdamage these healer bots with my current preservation setup. But I also need this setup to tank bosses. No problem though, because I just found out one can freely switch Trailblazer between paths while in the simulated universe. Nothing to it.
Not a scratch. Lamps ablaze. Lance! Forward!
And that's the first boss down. Even if I don't get what's on my list, if I can get any decent main stat ornament, this grind should become easier. I should have expected as much. Useless. And so the grind began, and I repeated the first boss fight of Simulated Universe World 5 over and over and over again. Occasionally, whenever I would be blessed with a curio, a Laurel Crown, I'd push forward to the second boss. That's because Laurel Crown lets me skip the battle by just letting blazer-dono get KO'd. Pretty much the easiest victory no matter the cost situation I've ever had. As this went on and I got some decent Planar ornaments, I began to wonder, could I possibly clear the world? It's just Kafka again. Surely it can't be that hard, right?
Oops. Ready? Take a guess. Zoning out. I can help.
Okay, I guess it could be. Though I'm honestly surprised I survived this long. Look at how many stacks of damage boost and berserk she has. At this point, I told myself that whenever I was lucky enough to get the Laurel Crown to skip the second boss, I would attempt Kafka. And, well, it must have been fate because I kept getting it. Even Cosmic Bigelato kept dumping the crown on me. Thus, I found myself going for Kafka again and again. But this run here, something was different. I got Laurel Crown as usual, used it to skip the boss, and found myself staring at this opportunity. All my curios are one-time use. It's not even a gamble. I couldn't have asked for a better swap. Free blessings in the two most important paths and a permanent 10% action forward, plus a discount voucher for Herta's store. We are cooking. Seriously, one of the best possible blessings to obtain. I think this might be the run. Kafka, you're going. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. It all started when I sat down at a card table across from a one-eyed dealer whose metal prosthetic legs were intertwined with the legs of the Nildis table. Not realizing that fortune must always be balanced, and I'd been having too much good luck, I greedily flipped a card on the prospect of earning a few cosmic fragments. He warned me the consequences could be dire, but really? This dire? There's simply no way, right? Like, absolutely not. And I already used the crown. Even if I hadn't, I tossed it away earlier. Okay. If these two titans want to steal this generous run, they're gonna have to pry it from blazer-dono's dead body. I am not giving this one up. I can say it for real this time. Victory, no matter the cost.
Retribution!
Lamps ablaze. Lance! Forward! Not a scratch.
I simply cannot believe it. It wasn't even close either. This setup might be too busted. And thus, Kafka once more. In all the times I made it here, I wasn't lucky enough to get incremental doomsday. But maybe, just maybe, quake damage would be enough. To further increase my chances, I maxed an HP percent rope and sphere I obtained. A boost in HP means a boost in shields, which translates to more quake damage. Hey Kafka, listen. This time, you're going down. Probably. Firstly, yes, I indeed started this battle without boosting via skill. The skill actually hurts my strategy, since it delays my biggest possible shield from texture memories, thus reducing my overall resonance energy gain. It's important I get as many as I can and that I stay in sync of being able to use them immediately after Texture and Memories activates. For this battle, blazer-dono is stocked up on preservation blessings. He has 2 of 3 resonance abilities and 7 different ways to obtain shields. His defense stat is also getting a hefty boost from multiple blessings. Altogether, it's probably a 250% defense boost. In my attempts at Kafka, I always fell victim to the Berserk timer. While we've seen blazer-dono can tank it for quite a while, it's far from an ideal situation. Even if she can't immediately break through, those heavy hits reduce the strength of my shields fast, resulting in her taking lessened quake damage. Keeping her damage boosts in check is important, which brings us to Kafka's innate damage boost, Griever. In earlier battles, it got ridiculously high. I found a counter for that. Griever only increments if a player character takes damage from the shock status effect. One of the blessings in play will remove status effects with a 30% chance each time a shield is gained. With so many ways to obtain shields, that 30% gets a lot of rolls. My strategy hasn't changed much. Use Resonance, win full, and I've gained the biggest shield from Texture and Memories. Rely on Guard of Wuthering Snow for heals and maintain a 35-55% health gauge. I unfortunately do not have the blessing to heal via ultimate like I did for Svarog, but I'm beginning to think it won't be needed.
Does that sting? Take a guess. Zoning out?
Not a scratch.
I can handle that.
Lance at the ready. Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
I didn't need to clear World 5, but, well, get wrecked, Kafka. I'd be lying if I said this wasn't immensely satisfying. Who'd have thought I'd go from defeating Kafka in the story one episode to defeating her ultimate form in the next. With this, I just need to return to the grind. I got an attack percent rope pretty early on, but the physical damage sphere took a couple hours. It also has garbage substats. It should be fine? By my calculations, I can now one-hit Phantylia's first 2 phases. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of blazer-dono. Simulated Universe was a heck of a lot of fun, but it's time to get back to the story. Once Phantylia is out of the way, blazer-dono will be ready for Peanut Coney. If you're enjoying the series, a subscribe really helps out. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Moosashi, where I sometimes share updates and other things. This is Moosashi and blazer-dono signing off. Till next time.